The cool, pine-scented air hit me as I stepped out of the car, a welcome relief after the endless interstate. My key slid into the lock, but it wouldn't turn. What the hell? A knot of anxiety tightened in my stomach. The door creaked open slightly, and a family I'd never seen before was laughing inside. A woman, a total stranger, looked up from the couch, her face a mix of surprise and confusion. "Can I help you?" she asked, a polite but firm question that felt like a slap in the face. What the actual F-dash? This was my cabin, my sanctuary, my little piece of heaven on the water. My mind raced. A mistake? No, the address was right. The little carved loon on the mailbox was right where I'd left it. I think there's been a misunderstanding. I started, my voice tight. "This is my house." The woman's smile faltered. "I'm sorry, but no, it isn't. We rented this for the week." Behind her, a little boy shouted, "Mom, did you see the fish I caught?" And the normal, happy sound of a family vacation was the most surreal thing I'd ever heard. My hand tightened on the doorknob. Did someone break in? Is this a squatting situation? My heart hammered against my ribs, not from fear, but from a hot, building anger. The woman, sensing my change in demeanor, became wary. "Look, my husband will be back in a minute. We have the rental agreement right here." She gestured to a neatly printed stack of papers on the coffee table, as if that explained everything. I took a deep breath, trying to calm the tremor in my hands. "Who did you rent it from?" I asked, my voice dangerously low. The woman's eyebrows furrowed. "The Homeowners Association. A woman named Carol." My blood ran cold. Carol, the one and only, my sworn enemy, the self-appointed queen of the lakefront, the one who had filed a complaint against me for my unacceptable lawn gnome last year. I could almost hear her voice now, dripping with self-righteous indignation. A wave of nausea washed over me. This wasn't just a simple mistake. This was a calculated act of malice. My mind rewound to the last time I'd seen her, at a community meeting where she tried to find me for my boat's paint job. The way her perfectly manicured hand had gestured dismissively, her chin held high, as if she were a benevolent dictator. I'd walked out of there fuming, thinking it couldn't get any worse. Oh, how wrong I was. The sheer audacity of this changing my locks, renting out my house for profit, all under the guise of Homeowners Association rules was beyond belief. The scent of fresh coffee and bacon filled the air, a simple domesticity that was a cruel joke to me. I wanted to scream, to tear the rental agreement to shreds. I wanted to see the look on her face when she realized she had messed with the wrong person. I pulled out my phone, my fingers flying as I dialed her number. It rang once, then twice, before her sugary voice, a little too sweet to be genuine, answered. "Hello, this is Carol. You've reached the Vice President of your Lakeview Estates Homeowners Association. How can I help you today?" My hands were shaking so hard I had to put the phone on speaker. "Carol, it's me. I'm at my house. What the hell is going on?" A short, dry laugh. "Oh, hey, yeah, about that. I'm so sorry. But your property was in gross violation of the community's safety standards. It's been sitting vacant for months. We had to take action. So, we've taken over the management for you." The words were a cascade of lies, a masterpiece of gaslighting. "Management?" I practically shouted. "You changed my locks and rented out my house." She laughed again, the sound like glass shards in my ears. "It's called a service. Hon, consider it a favor. The renters are lovely, and the money we're generating will go right back into the community fund. I'll send you an invoice." The smugness in her voice was a physical thing, suffocating me. "I'm not paying you a dime. You lunatic. Get over here. Now." I hung up, my chest heaving. The woman who rented the house looked terrified. "Is this real?" she whispered. I just shook my head, my jaw tight. "Unfortunately, it is. 10 minutes later, a pristine white SUV pulled up the driveway. Carol stepped out, her face a mask of patronizing concern. "Look, I told you I could explain everything," she began. Before her eyes landed on me, her smile froze. "What are you still doing here?" she demanded. "You're trespassing now. I'm calling the police." She reached for her phone, her thumb hovering over the keypad. "Please do," I said, my voice calm, the perfect foil to her escalating panic. "But before you do, I just want to show you something." I reached into my bag and pulled out a manila folder, its contents a culmination of months of paperwork. I held up the top document, a notarized deed. Her eyes widened, but the arrogance was still there. "That doesn't matter. We, as the Homeowners Association, have regulatory authority." She trailed off, her eyes fixed on something else I was holding. A business card, crisp and new. "I don't think you quite understand, Carol," I said softly, a slow, predatory smile spreading across my face. "I'm not just the owner of this house. I'm also the lead attorney for the firm that handles all of the legal affairs for the National Homeowners Association of America. You know, the association that oversees your little club." Her face went from smug to ashen in an instant. The blood drained from her cheeks, leaving her looking like a ghost. Her hand, which had been reaching for her phone, dropped to her side as if all the strength had left it. You can't be," she stammered, her voice a reedy whisper. The air, which had been so fresh moments ago, suddenly felt heavy and still. "Oh, but I am. And you just committed multiple felonies on my property," I said, my gaze unflinching. "I'll be sending you an invoice, Carol, for the new locks, for the fraudulent rental fees, and for my legal services. And trust me, my rates are not cheap." A bitter, deserved karma. The family on the porch watched, stunned. A moment of silence passed. The thick, palpable silence, before Carol let out a gasp and stumbled back, her hand flying to her mouth in utter panic as the full weight of her actions crashed down on her. Justice isn't just a concept. Sometimes, it's a person with a key that no longer works, a phone call, and a well-timed, poetic, and utterly devastating reveal.